Why coaches keep losing money when they run Facebook ads. My name is Jason Nyback. I spend roughly $1 million a year on Facebook ads, attracting coaching clients and then teach them all my strategies. And I also post some of our stuff here on these videos for free for you. So let's get into it. Why do so many coaches keep losing money when they run their Facebook ads? No matter what they try, no matter how cool the images are, no matter how many amazing claims they put in their ads, all these kinds of things, they just can't get them to work. They lose money and then they quit. Well, let's talk about this because there are some reasons why. And there's ways to fix this because look, Facebook works great. I've spent millions over the years running ads on Facebook to attract clients and really been doing it since Facebook started their ads platform many years ago. And before that, I was using Google, Google ads. So I know it works. You know it works. You've clicked on ads. You know there's ads. You've maybe made some money at one time. Maybe you are making money and it's just not scaling. So let's get into, there's really three main reasons why most coaches lose money using Facebook ads. And the third one is the absolute most important. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now. And so we'll get into that. So the first reason why most coaches keep losing money with Facebook ads and don't know why, number one, is they're trying to reach way too many people with their audience. Here's the problem. If you're trying to get 3, 4, maybe 10, 15 clients a month, you should not be running an ad to an audience of 10 million people. Your ad's going to get stuck in this ocean of an audience and it's never going to be able to optimize because you see, here's how Facebook works. When you run an ad to say 10 million people, Facebook's only ever going to latch on to roughly 0.5% to 1% of that audience, okay, roughly. So they're going to have a really hard time finding this audience of people within your audience because they're never going to run your ad to the whole audience. Never I've seen, unless it's a super small audience. So when you just launch away, Facebook is just it's going to just go around, it's going to find people and they're never going to be qualified or it's going to be really hard to get it going. The percentage of people clicking on your ad is going to be very low because the audience is so broad. And you got to remember, the less percentage of people clicking on your ad means the higher cost per click you pay. Because remember something, Facebook makes its money how? Facebook makes its money by getting people to come back to Facebook, okay? Every day, people come back to Facebook 5, 10, 15 times an hour, a lot of cases, right? And so what happens is you got to understand that Facebook needs to make sure your ads are relevant or people start leaving the platform and never come back, right? And then what happens? Their whole business model goes away. It's a very delicate balance. So they need your ads to be as relevant as possible. And if your ad's getting a very low click-through rate, a percentage of people clicking on your ad who see it, they're going to think your ad is not relevant. And so it's not giving a very good user experience. And they're going to charge you what is traditionally called the stupid tax. They're going to be like, if you're stupid enough to run this ad, we're going to charge you $20 a click. And it's not going to work. So you got to keep that audience tight. I recommend between, we tell our clients between 500,000 and 1 million, okay? So it gives it room to find your people, but it's also tight enough that it can latch onto a chunk of a qualified audience while getting that click-through rate high so that it can work, okay? Because if that click-through rate starts dropping, everything goes bad. Number two, the second problem people have is they run ads that are attracting the wrong people and actually accidentally repelling the right people. Who are the right people? High-ticket buyers who are looking to buy your high-ticket coaching package. Well, how does this happen? Well, the good news is we have lots of videos on this that you can see around here and you can check in other videos. And before we get to how this happens and how to fix it, I would just like to ask you to do two things real quick. The first thing is click like on this video right below it so we know you liked it so I can create more like this and more detailed ones. And number two, hit the subscribe button. This way I can get you out more videos. We have a whole bunch coming out on topics that are similar to this, and the only way you're going to find out is if you subscribe. So make sure you subscribe to these videos so that you'll be notified when more come out. How do we fix this? Because here's the problem. If you're inadvertently, without knowing it, bringing in the wrong people on your ad, and you're actually repelling the right people, well, nobody's ever going to buy, right? Doesn't matter how good your click-through rate is. So the way we fix this is you need to write an ad to your specific ideal client while reversing that trend. Okay, so you need to, instead of repelling the right people and attracting the wrong people, you need to repel the wrong people and attract the right people. How does this work? Let's look at an example of how this might work. So if you're a weight loss, or let's say you're a mindset coach. Okay, I'll give you an example of mindset. I was going to use weight loss. We'll use mindset. So, and you're just like, hey, would you like to learn how to manifest your dreams and achieve all your goals and live your dream life in abundance and confidence and all that? Just click here and watch my video. All right, it's not bad, but who's that focused on? It's going to be focused on anybody who's interested in that, and most likely it's going to reach people, who maybe they're unemployed, maybe they're at low-end jobs. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want people in that situation because they're not going to pay multiple thousands of dollars to work with you in their coaching program, are they? No. So what do you want to do? What you need to do is you need to focus on who you want to attract. So what if you put in there, hey, are you a six-figure, entrepreneur who is constantly getting frustrated that the more successful your business is, the more depressed and frustrated you get, and you don't know how to turn this around. You see what I did there? I focused on somebody who I would think would have the money to invest in the coaching program, and then repel somebody who would essentially not have a job, right? Because if I'm talking about a successful six-figure entrepreneur, right, then somebody who is not that is not going to click on it. And so what you want to do is make sure you're repelling the wrong people and attracting the right people through your messaging so you fix that problem. All right, what is number 3? The single most important thing that even if you do the first two, if you don't do the third one, still not going to work. All right, remember, I need you to click that like button so I know you like this, and subscribe so I can get you more of these videos and you'll get notified of them. All right, number 3, they're not focused on optimizing. Here's the thing. Like I said, I've put millions over the years into Facebook ads, and pretty much every ad I've ever tried as a new one has failed, pretty much. And so what you've got to realize, the money and success is not in launching an ad, it's in optimizing your campaign. Because you got to remember, when you launch something, the whole funnel's got to be optimized. Your ad, your registration page, your audience, whatever you got behind it, your webinar, all that kind of stuff. All those things have to be optimized. So you can throw it up there, and what most coaches do, they just throw it up, and they're like, well, I created a funnel, and this is so amazing, and I'm so excited, and everybody's going to want to work with me. And then they just hit a brick wall. Nothing works, and they don't know why. So what do? Quit, okay? Well, that's not the answer. So what you got to understand is, what are the key performance indicators for every piece of this thing? What should your click-through rate be on your ad? What should your registration rate be on your webinar, for example? What should your show-up rate be? How many call bookings should you be getting for the amount of ad spend you have? And you need to know all those KPIs, all right? And then when one of them isn't working, it's not that everything is broken. It's usually that one or two things are not working. So then if the webinar registration rate's bad, then we focus on fixing the webinar registration rate. How do we do that? We're testing bullet points on the registration page. We're testing registration page headlines. We're making sure that there's a continued conversation from the ad to the registration page, that they match. So the people coming from the registration page to the ad are matching. They get it. They're seeing it. And then they know that it matches. And then so they're registering. Okay, now what if, for example, the show-up rate to your webinar, for example, wasn't working? Well, you don't just shut the ads off and quit. We got to optimize the show up process and get that working, right? Now, what if you're getting people for a good KPI, key performance indicator, off Facebook? They're registering and they're showing up. Nobody's booking calls. Should you shut your ads off? Well, no. Why would you do that? Everything's working. Now it's about optimizing the webinar, okay? Now it's about figuring out, how do I get more of them through? How do I get more calls booked? And dialing the messaging in on that. It's never about nothing ever works. It's always about one or two things need to be brought within the KPIs. And most coaches can't understand this. And so what they do is they get really frustrated and then they just throw it all out. Or if it's not working, what do? They redo everything. Why would you redo everything when the problem usually only is one or two things? The reason for that is because they don't know which things to fix. And so they think they're just got to redo everything. Well, that gets exhausting. It's too much work. And quite frankly, the problem with doing that is you might be undoing the exact thing that was going to work. Okay, so you got to watch this. So these are the three things you need to know. Now, if you're tired of figuring all this out on your own and you're tired of posting on organic for clients and you're tired of doing all this stuff, in the body, in the comment section of this video, there's a link to my no-cost training on the 300-word Facebook ad strategy and snowball system I use to attract qualified coaching clients. So check that out. It should be in the comment section or in the links below this video. And it's a webinar that's going to show you how I optimize and how I do all these things and have so for really since Facebook it came about many years ago. I think it'll help you a lot. All right, we'll see you on the next video.